Well, here is the pro stock ladder as we look to the final, the championship round. Vincent Nobile, Dave Connelly, Greg Stanfield has the lane choice, and Greg Anderson. Well, as we've taken a look at pro stock, lane's seen a little different than we've seen in nitro. 3 and 4 kind of the place to be.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be affecting the pro stock cars as much as the fuel, so I think it's just going to be typical pro stock final. You're going to have to go out there and get a good light, hit your shift points. All of these cars are very, very good, and they're all very good drivers. This is going to be a fun matchup to watch here.
Last year, Mike Edwards won the final. In the staging lanes, they line them up nose to tail, 4 at a time. There they are. Great look down on the staging lanes here at this magnificent facility. They call it the Bellagio of drag strips, and with good cause. Fans love it here as well. There's so much to do just beyond the racetrack itself. A lot of great camping, a lot of activities, some wonderful food. You know I'm into food, Mike. Well, as you take a look at Vincent Nobile, are we talking yet another young winner? Very possible, just 19 years, 5 months old. Got his head on pretty good. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Checking with that team, Paul. They think they've got as good a chance as anybody to win the Wally here in the finals. Hi, Dave Reef. Just went wandering by there. Nice to see Dave active in the pits. But they admit, a little bit concerned over the fact that Vincent had the number 3 pick as far as lane choice is concerned. And they're wondering what kind of a wrinkle that may throw in their direction.
Well, in the 4 wide, there's a lot of different changes. The points are another one of those.
Well, it's a standard 20 points for qualifying, then 20 points for every round win. The difference is in the final round, you have 4 cars. The event winner is going to get the 100 points. Second place will get the runner-up. Third and fourth finish will basically get semi-final points of 60.
You know, with all the rain and the tornadoes have passed through this area, you could not have asked for a more beautiful day today. It's pro stock, and we are talking the finals. There is Greg Stanfield looking for career win number 3. Last year it was Mike Edwards that won in the finals here. And Dave Connelly, Vincent Nobile, Greg Anderson. That'll be the other 3 going up against Connelly.
I really like this group here. I mean, this is going to be a great race right now. And all these guys are very good on the lights. I mean, Vincent Nobile, Greg Stanfield, and Dave Connelly as quick as they can come. Greg Anderson, when he's on his game, can't hardly beat him. I mean, you could see these guys separated by maybe 100th, 200ths of a second when they launch off the line. And then it's going to be a matter of who's got the car to get to the finish line first.
And you look at Dave Connelly's door. Greg Anderson, you saw on board with him from nearby Mooresville, North Carolina, looking to be the first champion, past champion, to win a race this year. Hey, stat guy, what do you have?
Well, you mentioned that Greg Anderson, the first champ, and I look back in the history of drag racing, if none of the champs win, none of them this weekend, it'll be the first time ever in the modern points era that after 4 races, none of the incoming champs have actually won a race. Kim wishing Greg good luck in the final round.
So as Greg is ready and they start to roll in, this is the pro stock final. Greg Stanfield, Vincent Nobile. I'll tell you what, this could be a great day. You're right, Mike. I mean, everybody here got a good story. Burnout's complete on a stellar day at Z-Max Dragway, the 4 wide. I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about Dave Connelly and Vincent Nobile. I know you got some real veterans there in Stanfield and Anderson, but I'm something saying lane 1 and 2.
You know, I don't think anything would surprise me because these are quality teams right here. You know, and Greg Stanfield and Greg Anderson come in here, run 654s. Dave Connelly, I mean, he ran a 659 coming into this final. Vincent went to 658, but obviously, you know, they went back and looked at the data. They know they can probably step up a little bit. They know they're going to have to probably to get around Greg and Greg.
Talk to most every one of these teams. Wholesale change, or not wholesale changes, just normal rinse repeat for most of these guys. Not a lot of changes in Pro Stock, with the exception of the Mountain View team. They say they missed it in the second round, so consequently, they've made the most changes. A lot in the clutch area, a lot moving weight around, trying to get that car into the winner's circle.
Reaction times across the board. And how about that? Greg Anderson gets a win. Greg Anderson, a 6:55, 211 miles an hour, and Greg Stanfield comes second. That means he's the runner-up.
How about that? Just the way they finished in the points last season. Finally, your full throttle champion, a full throttle champion from last season, gets a win as you go on board with Greg Anderson. Vincent Nobile, Paul, as soon as he left the starting line, like you said, Paul, every driver had very good reaction times, but it was Greg Anderson with that horsepower on the other end, 655 over 211 miles per hour, but Greg Stanfield was right there with him.
Greg Anderson's last win came at the fall race at Las Vegas. You see his wife's Kim reaction. The champ now has his 66th race win in Pro Stock. Dave Reed.
Well, catching up with Rob Downing. And Rob, that one looked pretty darn close down there at the finish line. But how about Greg Anderson? How about this KB team?
Well, things are going good. This is obviously a hometown race, so for us to do well here is great for Summit. And we got all the guys here from the shop. Just want to say thanks to everybody.
What does it mean to the crew guys to be able to conquer the 4-wide national?
It's huge. This track in general for Pro Stock is very difficult. So, again, to be here at home in front of everybody with all the guys here, it's great for us.
And sleeping in your bed tonight. Congratulations, Rob.
And you and I have been in that shop, not that far from here. It's almost like trying to get into Fort Knox. Gary Gerald.
Well, Greg Anderson pounding on the hood, on the deck. He's got the Wally in hand. The congratulations from the folks at Myrtle Beach. How significant, how special is it when you win at your home racetrack?
It's huge, Gary. We did it a few months ago here, and that's what got us that 4th full throttle championship. This race last year, 4 wide. I don't know where to begin talking about it. I just didn't have a lot of confidence in my driving, and I'm telling you what, the driver is very important at a deal like this. There's so much going on up there, so easy to screw up, so easy to mess up, and thank the Lord I didn't. So Summit's in the winner's circle, Ken Black's in the winner's circle. This entire KB Racing team, all the crew is here today, and we had a great day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Myrtle Beach. I love Myrtle Beach too, by the way.
11 consecutive years, this man has won at least one of those Wallies, John Curran.
And I'm with Greg Stanfield, somewhat disappointed, of course, wanted to win it, but a runner-up, it was very, very close, Greg.
It's a good race. You know, anytime you run the Summit cars, they're tough competitors. But hey, I've got a great team behind me: Bob Yonke, J.D. Kaufman, Kenny Koretsky, Greg Hill, Eddie Stryker, my brother, and Brandon Lee, and Lefty at the shop. Everybody's working hard. And hey, it's a long year. It's as long as I win the war at the end of the year, I'm okay with it.
That's what counts, the championship.
Well, how does Greg Stanfield, and for that matter the rest, stand in terms of the points right now? Greg Anderson moves into #1 around Jason Line, his teammate, just 3 points back. Greg Stanfield is now 19 back, and Mike Edwards in 4th at 74 points back. Vincent Nobile, 83 behind in the fight. Well, coming up, it's going to be Nitro and their finals. Funny cars are already at the starting line.